Well, I opened the mainstream news today and just looked on news.google.com. That's normally a good gauge of things. You at least see what are the main stories going around. And what did I see? Not this one that you see here. This is mainstream regular news. But what did CNN say this morning? They didn't say anything like this at all about guards. And now we have other stories about the inmate that was transferred out. It was a cellmate just before Epstein was killed. Well, you know what I saw this morning on the regular news? It was a CNN article saying that Trump is making his paranoia of conspiracy theories as U.S. policy. And then another one of Cory Booker with his big bulging eyes saying that it's Russian propaganda and all this kind of baloney. Unbelievable. How much more radical leftist, like fringe, can it get? I mean, are they really that dumb? It's hard to say. I mean, within 24 hours, okay, here it says here, suicide comes as 24 hours after court documents were unsealed implicating powerful men in sex scandals. So all these different people that were aligned to him in these sex scandals are all being disclosed, okay? And they're saying that in these cells that are really suicide-proof, I mean, impossible to hang yourself in these things. So they're trying to say, I guess, he took a sheet, I guess, wrapped it around his head and, like, sat there on his knees and just held his knees up, I guess. I don't know what he could have tied it on because the surfaces in there are really impossible, I'm sure. Okay, they are. I haven't been in that one, but I'm sure that it's like others where they have suicide watches. Okay, and they had a suicide watch on him. So they don't just have him in a place where he can find a bar to, okay, maybe they did. Maybe he did it. But they say here, and the other stories as well, that he even went to the hospital a week before with marks to his neck, and he was claiming and saying to everyone that someone's trying to kill me. He literally, this is mainstream news too, okay? But why did they call that conspiracy theory? Why in the world would just one man's suicide be considered conspiracy theory? Come on. Or, that he was killed by someone else. That's not a conspiracy theory. No one even said that he truly killed himself. They're doing an investigation. I mean, you have to wait like a couple of years before you make it like a theory. I mean, this kind of a thing. That's really the theory is that he killed himself. I mean, what timing is that? Everyone said that he had no reason to kill himself. He looked adapting to the situation. Okay, fine. But he literally did go to the hospital with marks on his neck. And he claimed to everyone up and down, someone got in his room. Okay. Word had it that crime, yes, we're not going to produce Russian propaganda, but that there was a price on his head. Okay. And look, these are just the mainstream news facts. All right. So let's stick with that. This bastard raped all these 12-year-old girls. That was in the indictments. We're not talking about 17-year-old girls or something like this. I mean, a great number of them are recorded, okay, sending these 12-year-olds several times a day in to be raped or whatever they want to call it by these rich and powerful billionaires. And he called them in all the time. 13-year-old girl came forward with her story, totally verifiable. Okay, then you got the Clintons on his planes. What was it? That he came out not only 30 times. This says it was so much more. The flight logs showed Bill Clinton was on his flights way more than that. They had the Canadian Prime Minister so many times on taxpayer money. And every time when people wanted to ask